Gone 20 minutes to 10 as we continue this morning, and the focus once again is on the Turkey's Syria emergency earthquake appeal. And this morning we are now joined by Al-Imdaad Foundation's Moulana Suleman and Dhanchora. Moulana, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome and Jazakallah for your time.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, brother. United to you and all our esteemed listeners, and thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Jazakallah, yes, for that, Molana. But also at the same time, Molana, looking at what is actually playing out in Turkey, and we know the situation has actually worsened with what had taken place on Monday. We've heard of two more quakes that struck the southern province of Hatay and also in northern Syria. And this devastation has actually worsened the situation. Just take us through what you are observing and what is taking place on the ground, and also at the same time looking at Al-Imdaad and your involvement.
Certainly, yes. Our observation on the ground and first-hand what we're witnessing here is now the apocalyptic aftermath of multiple quakes and over the 2,000 aftershocks. The cries of agony and grief is still reverberating here in northern Syria and Turkey, and rescue operations still underway. Most rescue operations at this point in time have turned to recovery efforts, and with that comes the staggering death toll rising very, very relentlessly. At any moment in time, at this moment, you'd witness heavy earth-moving equipment still plodding and crawling and digging through absolute mountains of pulverized skyscrapers, entire suburbs brought to the ground. Previously, we've seen piles of bodies on the sides of streets. People here who've been living absolutely normal lives, functional families, kids going to school, moms and dads working very, very hard to give their children a quality life. Their entire lives is unearthed and upended in an instant. People camped directly before where they would once reside. Families refusing to leave until the bodies of their loved ones have been made over to them. Really a devastating and heartbreaking situation on the ground. Yesterday, we witnessed firsthand that the body of a little child dressed in polka dot pajamas being retrieved. Life certainly changed for millions of people here in northern Syria and Turkey in an absolute instant. In the past, there have been miracle moments, and these moments becoming beacons of hope amidst the heartbreak. But these miracle moments now, with the passage of time, are becoming much more fewer and further apart. There is now a growing acceptance of the grim reality where loved ones are retrieved from beneath the rubble only to return to the earth. It's been 2 weeks now since the beginning of the devastation, and where are we at this point? The World Health Organization has sounded the official alarm of a looming secondary crisis, and this just compounds the problems that we have here on the ground.
Molana, Molana, are you able to just move around slightly so we can hear you clearly?
Okay, sure. Is that better now?
Yes, go ahead, Molana.
Yes, so the World Health Organization has now sounded the official alarm of a looming secondary crisis. People on the ground living in very, very cramped conditions and open sewage, people at risk of respiratory diseases and cholera outbreaks. And as the devastation has taken a toll on critical infrastructure as well, the structural integrity of many hospitals have been compromised. In certain places, people requiring any form of treatment, including childbirth and maternity care, will have to attend field hospitals. Many of these hospitals still very, very under-equipped. We visited one such hospital while working with doctors on the ground here, and patients had presented with fractured bones and crush injuries. Unfortunately, this facility did not have an X-ray machine. It could not be salvaged from the wreckage of what was once the hospital. If we talk about the psychological toll that it has taken, seismologists and geographic reports tell us that these ancient cities are built on the most volatile tectonic fault line. There are hundreds of constant aftershocks, and with each rolling aftershock, you hear the anxious, nervous cries and wailing of people who cannot bear any more mental trauma at all. So this is the situation on the ground at the moment. As far as interventions go, alhamdulillah, the Al-Imdaad Foundation teams were activated at the very beginning of the crisis, and disaster response units immediately responded. At the beginning of the crisis, alhamdulillah, when there was a dire shortage of food, we were providing 50,000 hot meals a day, blankets, sleeping bags, fuel, diesel, and for heavy earth-moving equipment. With the snow and rain that had hampered and crippling infrastructure as well that impaired the flow of relief aid, we firmly believe that it was only through the sincerity by which donors had donated towards this crisis that against all odds, through coordination between our global offices and the Royal Jordanian Air Force, alhamdulillah, an entire military aircraft was commissioned into service and made available to us. By means of this aircraft, despite the logistical issues, we were able to airlift life-saving cargo, medication, items of hygiene and sanitation, wound and trauma dressing kits, blankets, food, utensils, etc. And alhamdulillah, overshooting all of the challenges on the ground, the aircraft touched down right at the heart of the crisis. It was escorted by our team. It was received airside by Al-Imdaad Foundation's frontline workers on the ground, and this aid was personally handed over to many of our brothers and sisters, certainly in dire need of assistance in this time of hardship and difficulty. Going forward from here, I think we've now reached the second phase of the crisis here. And I think with this comes more expansive aid that will be required, talking to doctors on the ground, certainly the need for psychological support. Our brothers and sisters are going through mental trauma, the need for permanent housing. There's also going to be a need to provide prosthetics for many of our brothers and sisters and many children here who had their limbs amputated. Inshallah, this opportunity will be passed on to our donors as well, so that they can make a direct and impactful difference to our brothers and sisters here. Al-Imdaad Foundation does have a long-term commitment, and inshallah, we do intend to maintain our presence here on this ground. And as far as Syria goes, we have a near permanent presence there in the aftermath of 12 years of devastating war. And alhamdulillah, through our satellite permanent station in Jordan, we will use the existing 80 corridors that we have, and we will expand and extend this to try and get more relief missions onto the ground, bearing in mind that in Syria there is little to no assistance from the central government there, and infrastructure and supplies are still rather rudimentary. Alhamdulillah, we've made a commitment. Brother United, you and I, just a few weeks ago, we were unpacking the situation in Turkey as famine knocks on the door, and I have to bring this out, that it's only possible for relief organizations like us from across the globe, and for donors like our brothers and sisters back home to donate and save lives in Somalia because of the contributions made by our partners here in Turkey. The Turkish government not only invested but directly donated the entire government. They facilitated the movement of aid into that region. And alhamdulillah, because of this, we were able to airlift cargo, we were able to get work going, we were able to save lives. And this is the same is applied in many other countries as well. If we look at Afghanistan, the amount that was donated by the Turkish people to alleviate their plight and their suffering. So this is a donor community. These are the same people on the southern part of Turkey that had opened their doors and showed love and warmth to our brothers and sisters who were being persecuted and fleeing devastating war in Syria. Today, it is their children that are trapped between slabs of concrete and twisted steel. And while they grieve and mourn the loss of their loved ones, the opportunity and the onus is upon us to be provided with support and to try and lighten and alleviate their suffering and their plight during their hour of difficulty.
Well, Moulana, Jazakallah for that, and all the information is on the Al-Imdaad Foundation's website and also on the social media platforms in terms of people still wanting to donate, and that appeal is actually going out. So, but for now, Jazakallah Moulana for your time and for the update this morning and unpacking what you have with us on the situation on the ground in that part of the world. We wish you and everyone else safety, inshallah. We wish you all the best. Allah accept, Allah reward all your efforts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Moulana Suleman Dhanchora was us this morning. A live update out of Turkey this morning, and we need to just apologize. The network obviously is an issue in that part of the world, so there was a bit of distortion in the sound quality. The time is just gone 10 minutes to 10. We come back. We are going to be joined with the DA mayoral candidate for the city of Shwane. We are talking with Salias Brink himself.